There we go. Hope you can all hear me well. Hope the picture is good. It says, please check the video resolution. It's not optimal. Good afternoon, UK viewers. Welcome, one and all. I hope you can all hear me. Welcome. Look at what a busy chat that is. That's marvelous to see so many people supporting Stadia Super Saturday. I hope you've been all watching Andy Morphs in a box, which I've been a bit quiet. Okay, let's get the mic up a bit more. How's that? Is that better, ladies and gentlemen? Can you hear me? I just need to calm down a bit. Little low. Okay. Let's just take the desktop down. Just take that up. Yeah, are we all good? Perfect. Much better. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sound engineers in the chat. Been a bit of a crazy morning. I literally just walked in the door 5 minutes ago. I thought, have a nice little, yes, have a nice little, I was looking actually for, I'm a fan of gamer energy drinks, healthy gamer energy drinks. This is not what you're here for. And I tried this Sneak, and it's very nice actually. But I also have, I was looking forward to a can of Excite. Again, these are healthy energy drinks from natural sources, pitched at gamers, etc. I've got another one coming soon. Anyway, yeah, I tried that, and of course they give you this nice little, comes in a powder form. Just add it to water, and it's like a sort of squash. But I was looking forward to my Excite, which is a fizzy can of stuff, and I just went to the fridge. And like, oh, Mother Hubbard, it was bare. No, so I've just got plain water, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I just want either Excite or Sneak or Energy, which is the one that's coming this week, to sponsor me, because I love these drinks. X-Gamer, that's another one. Anyway, I was going to say, I hope you all watched Andy Morphs in a box, which reminds me, I've been thinking about it today, how I'm going to introduce the show and about following Andy Morphs in a box. It sounds like a Dr. Seuss poem, that, doesn't it? Andy Morphs in a box. Andy Morphs is wearing socks. Is Andy Morphs wearing socks in a box? Does Andy Morph has a pet fox? Andy Morph in a box. There we go. That's my Dr. Seuss impression. If you're into Stadia, and you like watching bald men with beards talk about Stadia, then you're in luck, because you've got 2 hours of it. You've got me, and then following this, of course, is the marvellous Stadia cast with Bill and Lloyd, equally follically challenged up top, whether by choice or by nature, and beardy, lock-in beard time. Anyway, that's enough rambling. I did actually have, you can tell I'm a bit... because I've been rushing this morning. I did actually have a structure today's show, believe it or not. I like to think I'm a professional in these things. I try. So anyway, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Who am I? Let's quick introduction. Even introduction would be better than an introduction. I don't like introductions. I much prefer introductions. I am Clive Illenden. I have been a YouTuber. Can I call myself a YouTuber? Yes, I can now, because I'm a YouTube partner now, so I can call myself a YouTuber. Anybody who puts up a YouTuber is a YouTuber, effectively. But anyway, I started sort of putting up videos, some on some sort of food replacement stuff, some tech stuff, anything I vaguely bought from Amazon. I just did a review of. Some of the videos did really well for me. A bit, into sort of new tech and gadgets. I love Google stuff. Got Google, what's HOMEs all around the house. Love all that. So for me, I was very excited about, I'm an Xbox gamer as well. So I've tried Project xCloud. I tried Shadow PC. So I'm excited about what cloud gaming can offer. So I was very excited when Google came on board and said they're going to be doing their thing. And I must admit, I've not been disappointed. So that's where I came from, and I just started off with an unboxing, and then I've got involved in the community with everybody else. And as I say, It's absolutely great. I've been watching some of the videos today. Can I just say, I've never watched 1-2 Escape and Mean One Kelly stream. Please, big shout out, more of that. You two are hilarious when you're streaming. I love partners who kind of stream. It is absolutely hilarious. And I found the Serious Sam stream you did today, the bits I saw, just really funny. So more of that. Make sure you check out 1-2 Escape and Mean One Kelly when they stream. That was absolutely hilarious. Glory of Stadia, Wingy, lovely to see you. Caught your show this morning as well, some of that. Great to see you all there. Poor old Andy Morph's in a box, wearing socks with his fox. Like, I just thought he was going to do it for his show, but like the fact he had to sit in his box in his socks with his fox with you for a whole hour, and then he's doing his stream, he's going to need proper masseur, a chiropractor. Right, that's enough whiffle waffle. We're here to talk about Stadia. I do have a structure. What I sort of loosely based today's show around is the games, and I'll come to that in a minute. But before we do, because it's pertinent to this, lovely word, pertinent to this is, of course, the Stadia Connect, which came as a bit of a sort of, it was a surprise announcement. It's not a surprise they're doing one, but it's obviously a surprise announcement. The reason let's qualify that statement, sir. The reason it's not a surprise that they're doing one is, we're due one. I think the last one was sort of, the first one they did was March anyway, around the March time. But we're coming up to what is effectively E3 season. And since there is no E3, all the big games consoles and publishers and whatnot are all sort of gearing up. I mean, they planned at the beginning of the year, they had all these great plans, and plus all the publishers, all the developers, all the big announcements that they're going to make generally across the gaming industry, all focused on May and June, for E3 and just before E3. And Xbox usually, dominate E3 with their announcements historically the last couple of years. PlayStation do their own thing just before Nintendo do their own thing. So we're in that kind of season. So they've got all these all the publishers, all the console people, they've got all these marketing and publishing plans. No venue to really sort of show it. So they're doing these virtual things. And just to sort of, I think I mentioned, if you catch Generation X Gaming Club with myself and Stadia Rocks, every Tuesday, 9 p.m. I mentioned there that it's rumored that Xbox are going to be doing a big virtual conference in May where they're going to be talking about tech and possibly the Lockhart, which is like a sort of a slightly entry-level version of the new console generation they're going to slip in. And then one in June where they're going to announce sort of big games and stuff. So I think what we're going to see from Stadia is I think we're going to see some big game announcements. I don't think we're going to get Gen 2 because I think Gen 2 will be, they might put out a path or an aspiration, which is what Google tend to do. They say, this is our plans. And then people go, oh, where is it? Is it ready? Is it ready now? Have we got it now? Oh, they haven't delivered it. Liars. And it's like, no, because they're not said they're going to deliver it straight away. They like to sort of increment. Yeah, that's the way they do. They don't do the big, bleh, there you go. But I think they will drop some things. So I think we'll see some, because they haven't actually delivered on everything they aspired to do initially, because they're still delivering it. So I think we'll get an update on when some of these things, like the streaming aspect to YouTube. My bandwidth is not enough to play Stadia and stream at the same time. I think it's my bandwidth. It could be my laptop. New computer coming. I will be doing an unboxing. Spec'd up I have. Just a quick caveat on that. If everything goes a bit Pete Tong, that's the reason, because this Lappy that I'm using here, this is an entry-level gaming laptop, keeps dying on me. So if everything goes blank, bear with me for 2 minutes, I'll be back on. Anyway, so I think what we'll get is some big game announcements. So I think, as Raph mentioned in Wingy's The Glory of Stadia, they wouldn't Yeah, they're not just going to turn up and go, we haven't really got much to say. You know what's coming out, but we just wanted to say hello to everybody. That ain't happening. They're going to look really dumb and stupid if they do that. And I will say it here. I'm going to say it here and I will say it afterwards. But equally, don't, we get carried away with our hype and, it's a new generation and they'll have an exclusive. I think we might get, and I think I put it in Gloria Stadia in their chat. I think we might get a teaser trailer, maybe a hint of what they're working on in their in-house studio. So that would be cool. But I also think some big name announcements that we don't know about. So I'm going to be going through some game announcements that they announced from the get-go, and you'll see what I mean when I go there. But I think we're going to get, so maybe some big things from EA, maybe Uplay Plus, but there will be some big game announcements, which I think will sort of satisfy this desire. We're the AAAs, we're the Maddens. Not that I play Madden, but something like that. It would be cool if we had Apex or Fortnite, one of those two. I think we need a battle royale game because people relate to that. I mean, I know there are issues they had with Epic, and okay, so Epic are now so Fortnite is now on the Google App Store, but that was forced on them. They haven't got no choice. Because Google, originally, you had to sort of sideload Fortnite onto your Android if you wanted to play it. So you basically went to the Epic site and downloaded this. So you had to sort of untick unauthorized apps on your mobile phone, then go to the Epic site, download the software onto your phone, and then you could play Fortnite. So basically through the back door, sort of side loading, as it were. Google shut that aspect down. So Epic, it's not as though they've come to compromise. Literally, Epic had no choice. So PUBG could be a shout. It's getting a bit dated, PUBG, though. But it could be a shout. But whatever it is, I mean, personally, if it was Fortnite, boom. Imagine that. Because every kid knows what Fortnite is. And it would just but I don't know. I can't see that happening. But it would be, I'm not a big Fortnite fan. When I play it, I don't do any of the building. It's pointless. I can't handle it. I'm looking down at I'm asking my son, who is pretty impressive at it, and his mates are even more impressive as well between them. But they just tower, unbelievable, and they just watch YouTube videos on it and stuff. So if it was, what it would do if they did drop Fortnite, which I don't think they're going to do, but if they did, it would take Stadia into the mainstream. We take Stadia for granted within our kind of field, that it's a big thing. But I remember, a couple of weeks ago, my son, who is 10, was playing Fortnite with his mate, and I was banging on about Stadia in the background. And I said, oh, look, I can get you a Stadia account, I was telling him. And his friend was saying, what's Stadia? And they play games all the time. But they're, 14-year-old kids, 10-year-old kids, 11-year-old kids. They don't know what Stadia is. Their mums and dads don't know what Stadia is, necessarily. You make Fortnite available, effectively, for everybody to play, especially during lockdown, for people who don't have consoles or powerful enough PCs. Not that you need a super powerful PC, but a decent PC to play Fortnite. Then suddenly Stadia moves from sort of the niche gaming world, where everybody either loves it or hates it or knows it or don't, that kind of thing, into more of a mainstream arena where it becomes another place to play, the world's most popular game, Fortnite, whatever. But that was a long little piece, but I don't think that's happening. But if it is, I'm all for it, because it takes Stadia into the mainstream, as I said. Sponsored by Sneak. If you want to sponsor me, please feel free. By the way, please like and subscribe. Make sure you even if you pop into anybody's streams today for a couple of minutes just to say hello, just to have a chat. Plop it in there, hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Yeah, Gloria Stadia, I think we get a tease. I agree. I think we're going to get a tease of something. at least of what they're working on, because I think they've been working on it for a long time. So we should be at that step. And you know what publishers are like? What they will do is they'll build out a level, or at least a gameplay demonstration. Usually, so developers usually to show publishers. So there becomes a stage where you say, okay, here's a sort of a level almost complete, apart from maybe some of the lighting and graphics, just to show you. And then the publisher thinks, oh, we can use that as a bit of marketing. But it's also the developers to say, look, this is what your investment is looking like, you know, which is always make that that game that's coming to Stadia that looks like it's hand drawn. I always joke that the developer showed the West of whatever it's called, the developer showed the publisher that, and they're like, yeah, you're gonna finish that game, aren't you? No, it is literally stickmen. Anyway, so that's what I think. I think we will get some news or a roadmap on the features that are still due to come. Hopefully, the YouTube streaming aspect, wireless controller use with the Chrome browser, maybe some more Google Assistant stuff, things like that. So I hope that's coming. As I say, I'm desperately hoping they do the stuff to YouTube streaming. I would be doing that big time all the time when that comes on. So those are the main things, and then some big game drops. As I say, we've not really heard anything from EA, and EA have featured in their marketing materials, in the marketing presentations that Google have done. And I think it would be a pretty missed step if that was the case, and then we never saw any EA games. But I think a publisher like EA won't necessarily drip feed the games. I think they'll just go, right, we're ready now. Here is a raft of EA ready games. Go. And we're off. And they may not be one, you know, they may be some back catalogue ones initially, and then readying up for the new deliveries and day on date with their big releases. So that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. So you just need these big titles, these sort of what I call the mainstream titles almost. That the sort of the non-gamer, the casual gamer, or even the main gamer, you know, plays all the big FIFAs, or in the US it's the big Madden stuff, Battle Royale, those things. Anyway, what I wanted to really feature here is, let me just go, he says, everything work, over to, I'm just going to, right, I'm over here. This is where we wanted to go. Come along. Slowing down the internet now. Right, what I wanted to talk about. So if you're new to Stadia, if you are new, well, welcome. Interesting enough, their Stadia, the Stadia site, this site is slightly out of date, because if you go there, they still mention Stadia Base. I need to tidy that up. I saw an article in Game Industry Biz, and they said, you know, Stadia Base is yet to come. And this is like a couple of days ago, and I thought, no, Google have officially announced Stadia Base is no longer Stadia Base, it's just Stadia. But in Google, in gamesindustry.biz favor, they did do a new article saying, correcting that. But it's just interesting how the press sometimes don't quite get it all right, do they? Anyway, so these games here. If you're in the chat, I can't quite see. Let me just get the YouTube up on my other computer here, because I can't see the chat at the moment. But anyway, so these games here have been listed on here from, right, thank you, right, these games here have been listed on here almost from day one. There's some new games being added. The heist games weren't there originally. I think the Serious Sam. So they have added some games. So the fact they've added games that they've announced, but haven't removed games which we haven't yet seen. So, for instance, if we go right at the top, you've still got Baldur's Gate. So we know that's coming. Cyberpunk. Everybody knows that. Destroy All Humans. That's been there since the day one. Yeah. Arcadex, yeah. Doom 2016. Where's that? Get Packed. We know they've been Coat Sync. Is it Coat Sync? Have been absolutely hammering the marketing on this. And it's like, oh my God, just release it already. Andy Morphs is in his box wearing socks with his fox. Release it. Gods and Monsters have been on here since day one. No sign of that yet. And we know that Marvel's Avengers was meant to be out in April now, but was moved to September, along with obviously Cyberpunk was meant to be out in March, April time. I think it was April. Yeah, it's April because I just saw a trailer for it and it still had the old date on it. So this was meant to be out. Avengers was meant to be out in March. Cyberpunk was meant to be out in April. So we know they got pushed back, but they've been on since day one. Orcs Must Die 3 was announced at the big Connect thing. So, you know. And Elder Scrolls. Oh yeah, Super Hot. Super Hot's been around for a long time. Elder Scrolls, Watchdog Legions, and Windjammers 2. Okay, so what I thought I'd do is I'd have a little wander down some of these. So let's have a look at this, if this is going to work. I'm not going to put the trailer up, but just I'll talk about it in the background. So just let me know in the chat if this is the sort of game you're looking for. I'm not sure I'm a sort of a Dungeons and Dragons type guy, but from the gameplay that they went and with these things, they always make brilliant kind of cutscenes and movies, and this is quite disturbing. I remember when I was a lad. No, I remember. So I used to, some of you don't know my background. I used to work for Lego Media, Lego Games. Yeah. And so in the business and legal side of things. So I used to do the deals with developers and used to do deals with publishers. Hence, I like to think I can sprinkle a little bit of know-how, a bit of knowledge, a bit of background on this whole kind of gaming industry. So I really come to it from a guy who likes gadgets and geeky things, and is a casual gamer, loves playing games. But I also happen to have worked for Lego. Lego Games, and did deals with the publishers like EA, Sony. I met the chairman of Sony, which was like an absolute privilege. All the big names I've met. But anyway, just go to E3. The point is, I went to E3 every year, which is just basically a shindig, really. Visit LA. And the big thing about E3 every year was the World of Warcraft cutscene, the World of Warcraft video. That was the main thing. Everybody got everybody on a giant screen, and they used to show it. And everybody used to just look forward to that kind of World of Warcraft cutscene. And this is what this reminds me of. It's absolutely cinematic and amazing. But obviously, then you get into the game, and it's like, well, okay, it's procedural type aspect to it, making decisions. But seeing the playthrough that the studio did, I think I'm tempted. Anyway, let's go to the next one. Now, this goes without saying. I wonder if I should let me know if I turn this up. Let me just... There we are, a bit of music for you. Oh, I need to turn the... What? You're going to get feedback, aren't you? I'll just take that back. What we'll do... Right. There we go. What I wanted to do there, actually, I just need to just switch off. Anyway, so that's I didn't want to show extract from some Cyberpunk. This is actually the really cool music videos, part of the soundtrack, Cyberpunk. I think the soundtrack is going to be absolutely amazing on this, to be honest, as well. Where's me? Oh, that is okay. That is shut off. Okay, that's good. And it's from Grimes. This video is from Grimes. You should check it out. Really cool video, which makes me think Cyberpunk is not only going to look amazing, we know that, we know it will play amazing because of Witcher 3 and all that kind of stuff. I much prefer, if you like a Witcher 3 type thing, but in a modern city sort of futuristic environment, I'm there. Witcher 3 is all right. Fighting dragons and weird monsters is kind of cool and fun, but I much prefer a kind of slightly more urban world environment. So if you sort of apply the Witcher 3 philosophy, but give it this cyberpunk twist, I'm there, mate. I'm there with this kind of cool music and everything, and the style. Look at the style, the stylings and everything. It's just very stylish. We know this is going to be super cool. We know that. It goes without saying. Right, I'm just going to take that down. So that's Cyberpunk. We know all about that. Next one, please. So next on the list, of course, is let me know in the chat as well what games of these ones that I've talked about you're kind of looking forward to. Come on. The next one is Destroy All Humans, which is a kind of remake. If YouTube ever gets around to... Let's just switch that off there. There we go. Let's just... Oh, we need it in the news, don't we? Let's transition. So this is the next one. That was me talking, just watching that Grimes video. None of you were seeing it. Right, this is... yeah, so welcome. This is Destroy All Humans, which is a remake. I remember the original one, I think, vaguely. I remember the movie, which I thought was really funny. Tim Burton movie that it's sort of based on. But anyway, let me know in the chat whether you look forward to this. Again, so a lot of these games I'm going through, we've not actually got release dates, and yet on a different channel we do the Generation X Gaming Club, which is all about gaming news generally, not just Stadia, just general gaming news with a slightly more mature aspect to it. Anyway, let me know if you're looking forward to Destroy All Humans. I don't know why you can't hear this, but I don't know why these Martians have strong American accents. Maybe they were spying on the Earth watching American culture and TV shows, popular culture. Who knows? If you've ever seen that film from the 80s, Explorers, where these kids basically kidnapped by these aliens, and one of the aliens just learned everything he's learned from Earth. He's just learned from watching American TV. So he just does this whole stand-up where he does all impressions of chat show hosts and stuff like that. This alien, yeah. I think it's hilarious, but you just have to see it. Explorers, check it out. It's an old film from the 80s. Right. Next up, of course, Doom 2016. What happened to Doom 2016, ladies and gentlemen? That's what I want to know. Just going to check my phone chat because I might be missing the chat because I've got this on full screen here. So bear with. Bear with. I've also got a sweary guy on my... there we are. Yeah, turn that down. Oh, it's all right. Link TV, don't worry. So while this is on, I was looking at this actually. If you've played Doom 2016... let me know. But this looks a bit more... Doom Eternal looks a bit more, dare I say, cartoony. compared to this. This looks a bit more kind of old school. This looks darker. 2016 looks darker. I don't mean actually darker. I mean tonally and graphically. It's got slightly darker, shadowy tones to it. Let me know if you played Doom 2016 and how it compares to Doom Eternal. I struggled with Doom Eternal. Then I sort of got over a hump. I might have changed the settings. Don't tell anybody, to slightly less. And it's a hell of a lot of fun, and so addictive. And what's great about Doom Eternal is you just load straight back in. You're gonna die. Oh, did I jump on? No, we're doing Get Pack next. Andy Morphs in a box with his socks and a pet fox playing Get Pack. This is the early game footage here that was shown at the original sort of one of the Stadia announcements last year, and so I think it looked. They put a lot more. They would have put a lot more effects. This is what I'm talking about. Early game footage. There's always very early in a developer's stage where they sort of get a quick demo because they have to sort of go to the publisher. Like when I worked at Lego, it was going, okay, you've been working on this for 5 months now. Let's see what you've got. We're investing millions of pounds in this. Can we see it, please? So they always have to have that kind of demo level. And sometimes that get used as marketing footage like this. But this looks fun. I like, if you've, what's that? Humans Fall Flat. So it's got that kind of physics to it, that kind of sticky physics where you grab things and then you flop about like ragdoll physics. In fact, that's what it's called. It's called ragdoll physics. Anyway, it's got that ragdoll physics of Human Fall Flat, which is absolutely hilarious. Oh, we're straight onto Gods and Monsters here. Stylistically, this does look amazing. I'm just going to look through the chat on my phone here while you enjoy the delights of Gods and Monsters. Again, this was footage shown, last year. So the game would have been, I imagine, and it's coming on all consoles, would have improved a lot since here, and it looks really, it looks really interesting. Look at those big manga eyes going on there. Stadia Game Review says, Get Pack reminds me of Gang Beasts. I don't know. Oh, yes. Is that the one where I think I saw Gang Beasts in sort of development, and they used to show it on Mixer, I think, quite a lot. And is that the one where you just have drunk fights? The sort of physics models just have like crazy drunk fights. Is that one? Andy Morphs, it's still in your box. Wearing socks with your fox. Hopefully you're out of your box, but you've still got on your socks. And I don't know what happened to the fox. Charles Oran says, I wonder if they'll stealth drop a bunch of games between the Connect, E3 and Gamescom. I think they'll lay out what their plans are. This Connect is a sort of a pre-E3 kind of event. It's lagging down my stream. Yeah, that's the trouble. Get rid of the adverts. Okay. All right, we'll stop there and then we'll go back to me. Transition there. Right, that's better. Just slow down the stream. Sorry about that. You see, I don't have the broadband. Anyway, so those are just. I won't. I've done a playlist. I'll leave a link to the playlist of. I've just got of all the trailers that I kind of researched for this. Let me know though. Andy report. So wait, we've just. Hello. Yeah, we've got news just coming in here. Yep. Okay. Yep. Breaking news. I can officially report that Andy Morphs in his socks is out of the box. But there is no account of the fox. Okay, so yeah, it's official. Andy Morph is out of the box. So there we go. Welcome, welcome. Hey. Alex I'm going to say X64, but you're not 6. It's LXIV, isn't it? So it's Roman. It's like, that's 64. That is Roman for 64. 64. That's why they call you 64. That makes sense. Roman numerals. Welcome, welcome. Love your YouTube videos. Always a fan. Lovely to see you here. Much appreciated. So the other game I was going to show you, and I'm not going to show you now because it slows down the stream, was Marvel Avengers. That was the other thing. The ones I really wanted to focus on was things like Gods and Monsters and Doom 2016. Because, and what was the other one? And, oh yeah, the Orcs Must Die. Because these seem to really feature heavily. These games were focused on in the Stadia presentations that they did last year. And they've been on that list, as I said. Let's go, get rid of that. Go back to the games list and transition. There we go. So they've been on and Baldur's Gate, they've been on this list, as I say, from November. And yet, no real date to it. So I'm hoping that we start to see some dates firmed up. As I said, we're coming into E3 season. It's the date when people go, we can officially announce this will be available to play from September the 26th, or whenever it is. So, what a time to be alive, Rick. Well, yes and no. Oddly enough, we'll have something to tell our grandchildren. I tell you, I remember when none of us could leave the house, and our grandchildren were going, "What's a house? We just live in the Matrix." I hope that is not the future. Yeah, Google don't they say coming soon? Yeah, they do say coming soon, but that's very vague. I think so it's not Google, as I say, per se. I think obviously it's down to the developers to announce the date. But what they might do is have developers on, and they go, so Phil Harrison goes, so now I want to hand it over to Marty from ID. But first of all, I want to say, why did you make that stupid native 4K announcement? Anyway, no. Marty from ID now, and he's going to say, we're glad to bring you Doom 2016 with some bonus material, and here's a presentation. So whatever, they'll have some, potentially in this Connect, they would connect with some developers, and the developers will go, and we're pleased to say that this game will be available after this Connect, hooray! And everybody would be absolutely crazy, wetting themselves as a marvelous. Oh, I forgot. I'm in such a rush this morning, I forgot. I saw Raph wearing it, and I thought I must wear it, although it was a bit warm. Excuse me, Lord Kenza. If you want to know what the Japanese says, I don't know, I'm rubbing my breast there, but anyway. No simps. It says... Samurai Kenzel, or Kenzel Samurai, or something like that, anyway. There we go. Wrong arm. Yeah. We're flexing. See, I saw Raph, and he had it zipped up there, as you could see the Super S. Not only that, he says, don't know if you can see that. If I flash it, you might be able to. I'm running out of batteries, a bit light. Is that flashing? Oh, look, there we are. Look, put it on there. Is that flashing? Just put it on normal light there. Anyway, yeah. Sorry. The S. I saw Raph wearing his, so I thought I'd better wear mine. It is... I've got to get my mirroring right. There we go. Anyway, enough of the fashion show, ladies and gentlemen. Back to the games. So yeah, as I say, a lot of these games were announced way back when, so they must have come on leaps and bounds, and they must be imminent. They're just waiting for the right marketing window. So I think at the Stadia Connect, we may, since I'm talking about these games, we may see some guest developers on. So I think what will happen is Phil Harrison will give his sort of general update. on where we are, on where we're going. We'll have the tech guy on. He'll talk about maybe some rollout of what we're still expecting. As I said, the YouTube streaming aspect, or the Connect stuff, all that. When you click on a link and you're in playing and stuff like that. So we'll see some of that, I'm sure, without a doubt. And then they'll talk about the games, and they'll talk about, and then so we'll have. Oh, my mind's gone blank now. Jade, thank you. I'm hopeless at surnames, but I can remember first names. We'll have Jade talking about what the studios are doing, because she represents both the whole thing, creative studios. So both the internal studios and external studios. So she'll be talking about that, and that may bring on some other developers talking about the games that they're going to be releasing. And maybe Sharon Studland as well, talking about what her plans are specifically for the in-house games, and that's where we might see the trailer. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm predicting, ladies and gentlemen. I'm predicting Phil Harrison coming on stage. Yeah, no, that's a given. An update on the rollout of the features that we're still due to get. And then an update on the games that are due to come, and some big announcements, and that'll be from Jade. And then some what Google Studios, in-house studios, are doing, and that will be from Shannon Studland. So I think we'll expect to see all of those. What do you think? Yeah, Bubble has whale kisses. You've missed the first 40 minutes. That was the best. I did some poetry at the beginning as well. It was amazing. Some slam poetry. You missed that. Smash the like button. 2 right, 6-4. Megatron. You actually taking some time off from streaming? That's outrageous. I wake up in the morning. I almost said that sounded really weird. I was about to say I wake up in the morning with Megatron X. Let's just whoa. Let's just backtrack here. What I mean is, I wake up in the morning, and as we all do, I look on my phone, and who do I see streaming at? And it's 8 o'clock UK time usually. Is it? Do I get up at 8 o'clock UK time? 8:30 UK time. And it goes, oh, Mega Atron X is streaming. And ironically enough, she was streaming before I went to bed. So, I don't know. And I know, I saw it mentioned before. I think it was on, Stadia Source earlier, just saying where you get the stamina to stream that long. I did a few sessions of long streaming on Mixer. So I used to stream on Xbox. When I had a sort of what I call a spare weekend, basically nobody around for the whole weekend, which is nice now and then. I used to sort of stream on Mixer and sometimes do just sit there with me energy drinks and whatever, 7-8 hour session. But it is tiring. Okay, Glory of Stadia here. What's your current game of the year potentials? Good question. If you are talking about Stadia, well, the obvious thing is going to be something like Cyberpunk. But in terms of what I've played, some of my favorite games, whether they make game of the year, is Lost Words Beyond the Page. I just thought was really clever and imaginative on so many different levels. I reached out to the team on that on Twitter just to say, look, because it's if you find a good game or anything creative in life you enjoy, you should just reach out to people and say, you know what, thank you, that was amazing. I just want to show that all your creativity and everything was worth it, because I really appreciated it. And I think anything in the world, because we live in a world where it's easy to jump on Twitter and go, you idiot, I hate you, you're rubbish, you're wrong, that's crap. But occasionally it's nice to jump on Twitter and go, hey, that's really cool, well done. So I did that, and Ree Pratchett, I also tweeted her directly. She is the writer of Lost Words, and also the writer of, and I think if you've watched my channels before, you'll know this, Lara Croft. And there is definitely the spirit of Lara Croft in the character that you play in Lost Words. The same tone, the same voice. I don't mean literally, physically the same voice. What I mean is tonally, the way it's written, the same voice is in that. And I think it's just a beautiful, beautiful game. And a bit like, yeah, it got me. It got me right on my Stadia heart. It got me. And a bit like Rhyme, which is by the developer, by Tequila Works, who did, of course, Guilt, which again, also really spooky, upsetting, but in a kind of good way. Can you be upsetting in a good way? You know what I mean? Emotional game, but they did Rhyme, and that had me weeping. They recently tweeted out, what was your favorite game of theirs? And I said, Rhyme had me weeping like a baby at the end. It's so sad. No spoilers, but if you think Lost Words Beyond the Page is sad, oh my god. So that's the no, I didn't. Wendell Thomas said I'd get all the achievements. No, so I did go back to get some of those sprites to get my count up. I haven't got them all. I haven't been back for it because as I say, people moan there isn't enough, not enough games in Stadia. I've had to stop playing games. I haven't gone back to my Steam World games, and I was loving them. I haven't gone back to them in a while because I've gone back to some other games. I've started playing new games. The old GF, who I gave my buddy pass to, she's not a gamer at all. GF, it's street talk for girlfriend, yeah. The GF, I gave her my buddy pass, and she's not a gamer, as I say, at all. And she's had to learn gaming, and that sounds weird, but like when you teach your kid the first time, and they're like, "How do I?" Stop looking up. Stop looking down. Stop look when you're playing a first-person shooter. It's so frustrating. Anyway, she's on the same level as me of Destiny now, which is shocking. And now we're in that. We're sort of having secret liaisons when the other one's not playing, and then you go back on and we play together, and suddenly she's a level above, and you go, "What? Have you been playing this behind my back?" So I equally do the same thing, and I'm busy. Set status to busy. Quick secret game. Come back. Have you been playing this game behind my back? Anyway, there we go. Wendell Thomas says he's missing 3. Can't work out where they are. Yeah, you have to, in Lost Words, you have to kind of sometimes, when you're on a jump onto a chain and you go down, you sometimes have to search all the way at the top. Some of them aren't obvious. Guilt was great. Christopher Torres says Guilt was great. I loved that game. Yeah. Okay, the GF says 969. Yeah, well, don't worry, GF's ditto. Yeah. Yeah, Project Storm says, great points, Clive. There are hundreds and hundreds of games, gameplay hours in the games we currently have. Yeah, I'd already played. The thing is, I'd already played all the Tomb Raiders on Xbox. But I played them all again on Stadia. It was just such fun to jump in. And I swore I'd never play some of those games again because some of the levels are like, phew. But I like to think I'm slightly more improved gamer now. So, I played the Lara Croft, all the Tomb Raiders again on Stadia because it was just so convenient and so fun to play. And it just looked amazing. I mean, originally I played them just on my Xbox. Now I have an Xbox One X, so they probably look marvelous on that. But they looked incredible on Stadia, and it was so easy to play on the big TV and stuff. Yeah, Rigor says I cried a lot with Lost Words. Yeah, well, I think it deals with things that most people in their, say, adult life have probably had to deal with, or know somebody who's had to deal with some of those issues. I don't want to get all heavy and serious, but it deals with some of those issues. It deals with growing up, and we can all relate to it, and it does it in such a clever literary way as well. And I just love that. But then also there's really old school platforming about Lost Words. That's what I love about it. The dragging of the blocks is so old school. Oh, how do I get up there? Oh, drag the blocks across, jump on the box, jump up the level. Just like in Guilt. exactly the same. It's old school platforming. That's what you want to see. Basic platforming. And I love the running along the sentences, jumping down, hopping up, like you would, like Mario jumping up onto different levels, whatever game it is. It's classic. Even Destiny 2 has the level jumping built into it. But done imaginatively, and that's the key thing. You take the standard trope, as they call in film studies, a standard trope, a standard technique or style. That's what we come to expect, and then you layer on your creativity on top, and that is what Lost Words Beyond the Page does. It takes a pretty standard, pretty straightforward platforming game, and then interweaves it with some emotional, creative imagination and storytelling, but then with all the classic platforming aspects to it. Marvelous. 6-4 says Guilt is so good, definitely classic game design. Absolutely. Tequila Works are a proper indie studio where you don't necessarily go, I know. You're not EA going, right, this game made, we need these big tentpole games, as they call, and we need to just repeat, rinse and repeat. The great thing about independence is that people, they have ideas. They have like strong ideas, and then they look around for funding to get those ideas realized. And they want to tell stories. They've learned, they've got the skills and the tools to create games, but they want to express themselves. They want to say something. And that's what independents do, just like an independent record company, whatever. They're just looking for people who've got, who may not be mainstream in their voice or what they're trying to say, but have imagination or artistic or whatever and creative. And that's what independents bring. And that's why it's so important that Stadia has that mix, because it introduces more than just going around shooting aliens, which is cool. Hey, I'm not denying it. I love shooting the odd alien, or shooting people, in battle royale things and stuff like that. Of course. But gaming is like any other genre, any other cultural, media, any other media is so much more than that. There is so much more than just going around being toxic and shooting each other and going, well, look at that no scope, and stuff like that. There is so much depth to it, and the people who don't game don't always realize that, and they just always hear sort of the headlines of the bad stuff, and like anything in life, gaming is a popular culture form, and just like film and just like music, it has richness and texture and loads of different layers. Anyway, there we go. We're coming up soon to next boldy beardy type, Stadia Source. So make sure, I think I've left a link in the description, so make sure you get ready to jump to that. 6-4, you should definitely boot up Lost Words. It's not, if I had a complaint, it's not a long game. But then you didn't pay a lot of money for it, so, go figure. Glorious stage. So Wingy says, I'm trying to beat my games before moving on to the next, but so many games keep coming on Pro. Good problem to have. Yeah. I don't know. I sort of, I'm a bit like a magpie or a butterfly. I'm on to the next one, Oh, shiny thing. I do like to finish games if I can, but occasionally I'm easily distracted. See what I did there? See what I did? I'm easily distracted. So if a new good game comes, and sometimes you just want, if you're bored, you just want to break up the boredom. There's some games that, like story-driven games, you want to get involved in, you want to play through to the end and stuff like that. And then there are games like Destiny or Division 2, just drop in, do a session, kill a few people, get killed, move on. Or Doom, Doom Eternal, you could just drop in, try and get to the next level. Then you probably need to sit down and have a rest anyway, because you probably died 5,000 times. And you think, I just need a rest from that. That's intense, which is what I do with Doom Eternal. Next level. Once I clamber to the next level, I'm like, whew, I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm having a rest. I'm going to go play some Destiny or some Lost Words for tonal difference. Project Storm says, do I mainly playing 720p, 1080p, or 4K. Oh dear, Mark, I've got marks on me. 4K. I've got it set at 1080p because that's the default. And sometimes if the kids are here, and so just to give some context as well into the level. So I'm on BT broadband. I get 50 average of between 50 to 60 if I'm lucky megabits per second download. I'm hardwired in to my laptop is hardwired in. Obviously, the Chromecast Ultra is hardwired in as well to the broadband. My Xboxes are all hardwired in as well. I have two, one for my son and one for me. They're all hardwired in. So my son will be playing Fortnite on his Xbox One S. My daughter may well be just streaming YouTube videos or uploading a TikTok video or streaming on her Instagram or whatever. And then I'm playing as well. And that's all fine. It all works out dandy. So that kind of the level is about all right. And I can play in full 4K and that. But sometimes I'll just drop it down to the 1080p just so that there's no issues generally. But if no one's in the house, mate, it's right up to number 11, cranking it up to 4K on the big screen, kicking back. Sponsored drink. Please sponsor me. Sponsored drink, and I'm off. Resurrector says Stadia will be getting Sky from that game company. I don't know that. Would be great. Is a good co-op multiplayer. Again, multiplayer and co-op games are absolutely great, and that's the beauty of Stadia because everybody can have it. You just need a Chrome browser, so the ability to play with your mates, just drop in games like Spitlings. Not that Spitlings are drop in. Oh my god! Once you're in there and a level and you're stuck in there, it's absolute nightmare. Jerome says, naysayers still saying Stadia has no games, small library. Well, let's be honest. In fairness, it does. It has a small library of games. In fairness, it was launched in November, December, January, February, March, April. It is 5 months old. So, the naysayers are correct. It has a small library. PlayStation have much more games. Xbox has much more games. PlayStation 4's been around for 5 years. Xbox One's been around for 5 years. Stadia's been around for 5 months. Relax. The games are a-coming. Come Christmas time, when given the choice between little Johnny wanting his Xbox One X or Stadia, which is effectively free, or only £8 or whatever it is a month if he wants to go pro, then us parents who have to pay, the choices become a bit more interesting. Let's just say that. Right, we are, ladies and gentlemen, at 1:58. So, 6-4, thank you for that. The show sort of fell apart a bit, if I'm honest, with my kind of structure. But I just don't have... I wanted to show some more trailers, but I just don't have the bandwidth. It's not fair. I don't have the setup for it. New computer coming. There will be an unboxing. Very exciting. But anyway, what I want to say is thank you, everybody who's been in the chat today. It's been absolutely brilliant to see you. I wish I could have read out more of the chats. It's not that I'm ignoring you. It's just I've got about 5 different screens going on, and yeah, it gets a bit crazy. And I'm using OBS, and I'm not using the old what's the other one? StreamYard today, which I only use when I'm doing interviews. I'm not sure I've got an interview coming up on Monday. I may be reaching out to some people, so we'll see. But not to worry. And then on Tuesday will be the Generation X Gaming Club. Make sure you check that channel out. We need some subscribers. We're a brand new channel on that one. It's Andy Rock and myself, Stadia Rocks and me. Generation X Gaming, talking all things gaming news and old things. We have a nostalgia point where we go back and look at old games in the past. But first of all, please, if you're new to this channel, welcome. If you're new to Stadia, I hope you're having a ball. I hope you're having fun. Any questions, just ask the community. And make sure you hit that like, hit the subscribe, and make sure you now go and join Bill and Lloyd over at Stadia Cast, as I say, for more shaven-headed, bearded action from Bill and some Canadian insight from the lovely Lloyd. I'm going to say thank you for being here today. I really appreciate it. Make sure you check out the Monday night show. Make sure that, as I say, if you just pop into people's streams, that's all right. Don't expect you to watch 24 hours of YouTube. You're not a teenager. Make sure that you just hit the likes on everybody's YouTube videos and stuff like that, because those likes are very useful to us content creators, believe it or not. And as I say, one raindrop is just one of many storms. I was going to say some Confucius thing and it slipped my head now. Anyway, on that ridiculous proverb I got wrong, it was meant to be like the 1,000-mile journey starts with the first step, but it's the same with likes and subscribers. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, thank you for watching. There should be a link in my description to Stadia Cast, Bill and Lloyd. Get yourself over there, as I say, for more beardy, bold action and Stadia talk. Thank you once more for coming to my stream. I really appreciate it. Have a lovely, lovely Stadia Super Saturday, and I'll see some of you in the chat in other people's streams. I'm out of here.